Could the man with a better record than Ange Postecoglou be about to come back to Celtic and replace him? We thought Ange was good with 5 trophies out of 6, but big Rodgers had 7 out of 7.
And Chief Executive Michael Nicholson and Finance Director Chris Mackay flew by private jet to Mallorca, where Rodgers owns a home on Saturday, and they held face-to-face.
Sure it wasn't Epstein Island they were flying to?
Well, it could have been, but Big Brendan, I don't know, was he on the list?
Don't know, well, he's on the list to be the next Celtic manager, so we'll have to...
I'd say most of them on this list have been to Epstein Island, or Paradise as they would call it. But yeah, face-to-face talks with Brendan Rodgers has happened here. Stunning return linked, and I don't think Celtic fans are too impressed with this. They want it nuts, and they want the Man City assistant. They want everyone, apparently, apart from Brendan Rodgers.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, obviously I'm not a Celtic fan, so it doesn't really bother me. I hope they get the worst appointment out of everybody, but I mean, this Man City...
What's Pedro Casinha doing these days?
Oh, I don't know. Does he want to return to Scotland? Probably not. Probably been on the job centre since he got sacked by Rangers. But if we're looking at Brendan Rodgers, I think he's proven before that he can win, he can dominate Scotland with Celtic. You're looking at the Man City assistant manager. Hasn't proven nothing. And yeah, Arteta turned out to be pretty good, but doesn't mean this guy is necessarily going to be good. And the Knutson guy, I mean, he's done okay, but I mean, a lot of Celtic fans want Knutson to be the manager based purely on 2 knockout ties against Celtic, where they destroyed them. But I mean, really, you want to give this guy the job based on that? Over 180 minutes?
Yeah, but like giving the Malmo manager the Rangers job.
Because they knocked Rangers out the Champions League. I'm not exactly convinced this Knutson guy...
Kind of gave Kovac the striker job.
Well, that's true, to be fair. I'm not convinced that Knutson is the man. I would rather go for a manager that is actually a manager. I wouldn't give it to the Man City assistant either. So I think out of the options, I'd say Rodgers is probably the best choice that Celtic have got. I think he's been successful everywhere he's went. He did have success with Liverpool. I mean, people can say that he never won the league and that he never won a trophy, but at the end of the day, before he took over, Liverpool were not successful. In fact, Liverpool were a mid-table team before Rodgers took over. They were 7th, 8th and 7th in 3 consecutive seasons. So, yeah, not good. Rodgers took over. He got them up into the top 4.
He did a good job at Leicester too.
He got them fighting for the title, and if it wasn't for Stevie G, Rodgers would have won the Premier League with Liverpool, no doubt about it. He came to Celtic, won 7 trophies out of 7. I mean, he had the league wrapped up as well. It would have been 8 out of 8, and then you've probably going to assume that he would have won the Scottish Cup final. So we could have been looking at 9 out of 9, if we're being completely honest. And at Leicester, I think he done a good job. He came in, and people might be looking at Leicester as Premier League winners, but when he took over Leicester, I think they were 16th. They were on the decline under Ranieri, and I would say that Rodgers actually for a while made Leicester look like a team capable of getting top 4. Now, he never done it.
I don't think it was Ranieri.
He always missed it. He replaced Ranieri. Now, because Ranieri won the league. Now,
but they won the league in the 15-16 season. He replaced in 18-19. There's no way Ranieri lasted 2 seasons.
Well, whoever he replaced, right?
Who is it? I'm trying to think. I can't think about who was really replaced.
Point is, Leicester weren't big. They weren't doing well.
They weren't doing well, no?
No, they weren't doing well, no.
You know what? He won them an FA Cup, and he had them regularly competing for top 4.
I'm pretty sure there's one day they missed out on top 4 on the final day when they should have wrapped it up.
But no, the thing is, Leicester for a few years were better than Arsenal.
No, definitely. And people might say you're talking shit here, but I'm not. Brendan Rodgers' Leicester was better than Claudio Ranieri's Leicester. And I don't care if Claudio Ranieri's Leicester won the league, it was a fluke, and it got proved the following season. When Rodgers was there, Leicester were consistently in the top 6 and they were one of the better teams in the league.
Yep, absolutely.
He done that over a prolonged period, whereas Ranieri, basically, he did fluke it. It was a fluke. I'm not here to bash Ranieri, but for me, I think Rodgers has done a good job at the big teams that he's been at, and yeah, I think he would do a good job if he goes back to Celtic. And I think Celtic need to get a good appointment, because Celtic are not as far ahead of Rangers as they believe that they are. I think we've seen Rangers make a lot of improvements under Michael Beale, and I think Celtic are under this, a lot, especially fans, I think they're under this belief that You know, they don't really need to rush to appoint a new manager, or they don't really need to get things right because they've got all these good players. Well, you know what? These good players could quickly go. You know, there's no guarantee they're going to stay. Look how quick Ange went after winning the Scottish Cup. There's no guarantee that a week from now that Kyogo will be there, that Hatate will be there. These are players that could potentially leave. And if you don't get a good manager in, then they could easily undo all the hard work that Ange has put in, because we've seen it happen in the past. Managers come in and all of a sudden they can make good teams. A bad manager can make a good team bad just as quickly as a good manager can make a bad team good. So that is pretty much my thoughts on that.
It's funny though, the sense of entitlement though that Celtic fans have got with Rodgers. Like we've discussed, he won 7 out of 7. Yeah, he left them for Leicester, but see if someone said to me here, Gerrard's going to be the next manager after Beale, I'd be like, fucking on back, Stevie G.
Well, the thing with Rodgers is it's a safe option, but it's not like, oh, you're going to get safe like mediocrity. You're getting safe goodness.
Aye.
So for me, it's a no-brainer. I think you would take Rodgers.
I don't see you.
And you know what? He left, and yeah, he did it midway through the season or whatever. But that's because Leicester wanted him in.
Celtic weren't backing him either.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, they never gave him John McGinn when they really should have paid up. I'm pretty sure Rodgers wanted Leicester to wait to the end of the season, but they wanted him in right then. They weren't prepared to wait. So Rodgers had to make a choice whether he goes or not, and he made that choice. Let's say Spurs came in and said to Ange Postecoglou in March, if Spurs said to Ange, look, we want you to come, you've got a week to come, you have to come now, and if you don't accept the contract, we won't want you. Come the summer, I reckon he would have done the same thing as Rodgers.
Absolutely, I think he would have, because that deal has been going with fans since March, that they kept behind the club's back. But I tell you what, it would not be behind the club's back if they came out and said that ultimatum to him that here, it's either now or never, big man.
Yeah, so we can sit here and pretend that Rodgers is the devil or whatever, but Rodgers has done the exact same thing that Ange has done. He's took a chance for a Premier League team. We can argue maybe.
Do you feel like with Rodgers though, it's a case of here, if you stayed, mate, we all think we would have guaranteed the 10, but then you left it in the hands of Lennon and you fucked it for us?
Could be that as well. But who knows, maybe he'll go back to Celtic and he'll stay for 8 seasons and win them the 10. Would that not be the redemption?
That could be the redemption arc.
Could be the redemption arc if Rodgers wants to choose that assignment.
You know, they showed great character and yeah.
Good character, unlike me.
You know what? He would be. He is a wee bit of star power, big Brendan Rodgers. Would I welcome him back? No, from a Raiders perspective, I want them to get somebody worse, and I feel like with all this snobbery going around, they could very easily get somebody worse, so I'm welcoming that.
Like, see this Knutson guy, I'm not going to say he wouldn't be good. He could be great. Could be better than Rodgers and Ange. But I also think with Knutson, there's a possibility they could be a flop.
Yeah, I don't know what Bodo Glimt are doing these days.
I feel like with Rodgers, I wouldn't say he's guaranteed to win the league with Celtic, but I think you know that he's going to be a good Celtic manager. Celtic are not going to be shite under Rodgers.
Yeah.
So,
no, yeah, I mean, I'd even argue the same, man, if they brought Lennon back. Let's be real.
Lennon gets too much hate.
The 10-0 season, I mean, it didn't happen. That was a collective fuck up. It wasn't just Neil Lennon.
He just happened to be the one in charge at the time. It could have happened to anybody. It was just a shit show. And yeah, Celtic haven't had many shit shows in recent years, so we'll see what happens, guys. Will they sign a new manager? I mean, they don't have any Champions League qualifiers coming up. They're not in the Premier Sports Cup, so I guess they have more time than maybe they normally would to appoint a new manager. So there's no rush, but they'll want to get one in quicker, sooner rather than later. And I think Rodgers should be the man. So I would go with Rodgers if it was up to me.
He is currently 9-4. He's second favourite.
Who's favourite?
The Man City assistant, he's about 4-7.
I don't know if I like the sound of that.
Daniel Farke is 7-1. Scott Brown 25-1.
Scott Brown. What's Neil Lennon?
Oh, fuck, he was 50-1 last time I looked.
Return of the Len. Anyway, guys,
that's it. Of the Len.
Leave your opinions down below. Let us know who you think should be the next manager, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace.